Hello, hi, it's me, toxiclowfive. Now, today, we're gonna be talking about an idea I have for Blocktales. There's also gonna be some honorable mentions of other stuff that fans have also mentioned. But today, we're gonna be talking about a roguelike mode for Blocktales. Now, roguelikes are practically just dungeon crawls that are like, you know, like role-playing, and then like you could go to different areas. In some roguelikes, you could go to different areas. You start at level 1, and if you die, well, you start back over. In most roguelikes, and that's the kind of roguelike I'm thinking of. Now, I'm thinking this would be a permadeath mode, and what would happen is you would go enter a room, and then there's 4 different paths you can start with. You also start with different classes. You could probably start with the baller class, the knight class, or whatever classes the developers want to give you, as we do have a lot of options in Blocktales now that there's demo 3. There's a whole bunch of different cards, there's a bunch of different builds you can make, and it would just give you some starter classes. Now, they could also add difficulties, so difficulties would give you different rewards. So let's say for easy, for example, you would get like a sound for the main game. If you play on impossible difficulty, maybe you would get like double amount of money for your next playthrough. So if you start a new slot, you would get double money, double EXP or something like that. Or maybe you would get like a permanent defense or a permanent card. Maybe you could pick for a permanent card you want to start with. Stuff like that. I think it would make the game like a lot more fun. Then they could also add modifiers to the game, and I think that would help a lot. So I'm basing this off of a game called Rogue Nightmare. Now, if you've never played Rogue Nightmare, I'm going to be showing you what it is right now. Now, this game is something that I used to love to play on the channel, and it's a game that I really do think is underrated. It is a literal roguelike, and in this game, it has 2 different modes. There's a boss raid, then there's just a regular part with different difficulties. Now, these different difficulties actually are difficult, and they're really fun though. And so the way it works is, as you level up, you get and enter a different room. You get to pick a few cards, and obviously these are RNG based, but you also can pick different classes. You start with a starter class, and then you go on and you get different classes. As you go up in the game, you get different weapons that you could choose from. You can make different builds, etc. And it's a really hard challenge, and it is really fun to like replay. And every time you die, you have to start over from level 1 and go again until you get to the final boss. Now, I'm thinking they could do something like that, something similar to that in Blocktales, where you could choose between 4 different rooms, and each room could be different. So it could be a special treasure room, or it could be a trap room where you get attacked by a whole bunch of enemies or waves of enemies that you have to keep killing, or it could just be like a special room. You could get it. The devs could come up with what they want to come up with. I think there should be 4 different rooms, and every time you enter a new room, and you beat that room, you get to pick a card. So it'd be like maybe you could get like line bounce or defend or safeguard or any cards that would be there. Just 4 different cards you could pick from, and you can only pick 1, and I think that would add a lot of replayability. Rogue Nightmare also has a boss raid mode, which is pretty much the same mode, but instead it's just all bosses, no regular enemies or anything. It's just all bosses. Now, I'm thinking they would also have like this would also not use any of the, like the pit enemies, because or like any of the chapter enemies. Would just be this whole new thing with different enemies that they have, that's just like a replayable challenge that people could come back and do as they wait for the new chapters to come out. Because yes, the pit is cool and all, I don't think it's enough replayable content to keep people coming back to the game, and I would like the game to stay around like 10,000 players most of the time. So I think it's a really good idea for them to do this. But yeah, I think a roguelike mode will work perfectly for this. Obviously, they would probably rethink it and cheat and balance it how they want to and stuff like that, but I do think a roguelike mode will work perfectly with Blocktales with how it works, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Another thing people were talking about was PvP. I think PvP could be fun, but I think roguelike is more what people would want, because I don't know if I'm a big fan of PvP, but I would do it because it would be fun to play against fans, like a 4v4, 2v2s and stuff like that. Tournaments would also be fun, and it would add a lot of replayability, because the gameplay of Blocktales is really fun, and it would make it really fun, I won't lie. So I think they should do something like that. I don't know how to balance it though, like how it would dare. I assume they would disable perfect blocking, because if somebody's just like insanely good at perfect blocking every attack in the game, you can't really beat them. And I assume you can't use any of the like the special weapons, like the ice dagger, the venom shank, and all of that stuff, or like super overpowered stuff like the Halloween burger, not the Halloween burger, the ghost burger or the ghost potion. I assume stuff like that would be disabled, and it would only be like damaging stuff and different builds that you can make. But I don't know. I think it would be fun though. I think it would be fun to like see different strategies of people PvPing and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, that's it. That's me rambling on. It's just me doing a short video on what I think could be added to Blocktales. This is my last Blocktales video until demo 4 comes out. I'm not doing any more challenges. I did everything I wanted to for Blocktales. I love this game, and I do think that adding something like this would help the game have a lot more replayability. But that's it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.